All right. Welcome to the webinar, 10 critical retirement questions. We are so glad that you are here. We're going to have fun. We're going to learn. And I hope this will help you on your journey to having a more peaceful and joyful retirement. My name is Mike Massey. I'm your presenter. I'm the owner of the Portfolio Protection Store, where smart investors go to protect their life savings from stock market losses. I would like for you, if you're at your computer, to open up a new browser, and down here in the red, you'll type in www.theportfolioprotectionstore.com/answer sheet. If you're not at a computer, that's totally fine. If you can pull out a piece of paper, a sticky note, anything, you're just going to make 10 short answers. They're not going to take up much room. This is a very simplified webinar, but it's going to be very impactful. So if you can, go to theportfolioprotectionstore.com/answer sheet. www.theportfolioprotectionstore.com/answer sheet. Download that. If you can't, just pull out a piece of paper. We'll be great. All right. Here's my family. Here's me just dancing, having a little fun. Here's my wife of 18 and a half years. Luke is in third. Luke is in eighth. Gracie is in third. Cabe is in second. Ava's in first. And little man right here is at home going to daycare a couple of days a week. Before we begin, this content is for general informational purposes only. It is not intended to provide fiduciary tax or legal advice. You are encouraged to consult with your own legal, tax, and financial professionals for specific advice or product recommendations. Investment and insurance products are not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by a bank or any of its affiliates, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Here we go. First, before we begin, 10 reasons why some people may run out of money before they die. 1, living longer than expected. 2, they spend too much money. 3, they sold when the markets bottomed. 4, they made poor financial decisions due to emotions. 5, greed overtook them. 6, fear overtook them. 7, inflation was higher than they expected. 8, they took too much risk. 9, they took too little risk. 10, they just failed to properly plan. There's lots of other reasons, but we want you to think about these. And if you might potentially fall into one of those categories, that's something you need to talk to your financial professional about. Here's a little video of my daughter. She was learning how to ride a bike, and the video is not going to want to play right now. But anyways, you can see that she's out on this soccer field, football field. She was scared of riding her bike. We put the helmet on, we put the pads on. She was still timid. So I said, you know what? I've got a better plan. Let's take you out somewhere where it's not going to hurt that much if you fall. You're not going to get concrete skins or anything. So before we started, she was anxious. She was worried about crashing. She was fearful. She was uncertain about the unknown, right? But once we got her with pads and helmet and the football field grass to protect her from falling, she started to trust me. We made forward progress. She started to enjoy it. She saw the plan that we had put in place and she relaxed. And you know what? She learned to ride her bike that very day. It was incredible. So what's the lesson? Find someone you can trust to guide you well to retirement and through retirement. Critical question number 1. Get out your piece of paper or the answer sheet. If you didn't download it, you can still download it at www.theportfolioprotectionstore.com/answer sheet. What's the longest you think you might live in retirement? Now, I want you to write your answer there. If we think about the chance of living to age 90, there's a 43% chance for a 65-year-old male to make it to 90, a 53% chance for a 65-year-old female to make it to 90. And for a couple age 65, there's a 73% chance at least one of them will make it to age 90. Right? So what we want you to think about is how long you're going to live. Some people might say, well, I'm not going to live past 75. Okay, if you're really honest about that, then maybe there's health reasons, and could be a valid answer. But maybe it's later. Maybe it's 78. Maybe it's 82. Maybe it's 90. Maybe it's 100. So that's a number you're going to need to know as you're entering retirement or you're in retirement. Critical question number 2. What is your current allocation of, let's say, equities and fixed income? If you wanted to add a third category of alternatives or something like that, you certainly could. Really, the idea here is to take these answers, talk to your financial professional, and figure out, based on where you are and where you want to be and the statistical probability and everything, do you have the right plan in place? So when I say equities here, it's just generally speaking, stocks, equity mutual funds, equity index funds, equity ETFs, et cetera. Fixed income could be bonds, could be CDs, cash, bond mutual funds, bond index funds, bond ETFs, and the like. So you can go ahead and put that, how much is in equities and how much is in fixed income. And we generally refer to that as asset allocation. But again, there can be alternatives, et cetera. This is a simplified presentation to help really pull out some ideas from your head so that you can have further conversations. Critical retirement question number 3. How much money do you spend annually? This is the, oh, wow, I have no idea. And most people will say, I spend too much. There's a few people who say, I don't spend enough because I'm afraid of running out of money. I wish I could spend more. I have clients on both sides of the spectrum. Typically, they think they're spending too much, and some of them are. And then some aren't spending enough, where I'm like, spend some more money, have some more fun with this. And because you're not worried about maximizing your inheritance to your kids or grandkids in this particular scenario. So let's talk about that. So how much do you spend? Think about how much you might spend on your home. Whoops. Such as mortgage, property taxes, insurance, upkeep, utilities. How about food, groceries, eating out? How about vehicles, loans, gas, insurance, oil, maintenance, healthcare, premiums, deductible, copays, prescriptions, taxes? What do you spend on hobbies in a given year? How about children or grandchildren? Vacations, right? That could be a big one. Some people are like, I only take one vacation, it's $1,000. And others are like, you know what? I take my family and I spend $40,000 on a snow ski vacation for the kids and grandkids. And then in the summer, we rent a house in Colorado for a month and it costs me 20 or 30 or 50 grand or whatever that number is. Great. Put that number in there. Phone, internet, and anything else that you may have that's unique to you, or this is just a very simplified way to get you to start thinking about this. And if you don't know this answer now, some of you are like, yes, I've got a spreadsheet. Let me look at it. Or I, collect everything on blah, blah, blah app or software. Let me go look. And others are like, you know what? Let me put pen to paper and I'm going to come back and have this answer in an hour or in a day or two. But you're going to want this answer. So if you don't know the answer now, that's okay. You can still work through these questions. Critical question number 4. What is your withdrawal rate? This is the annual amount that you're pulling from your portfolio divided by your portfolio value. It's really a pretty simple calculation. So, for example, if you're pulling $50,000 on a $1 million portfolio annually, then that's a 5% withdrawal rate because you divide 50,000, what you're pulling, divided by $1 million, the value of your portfolio. If you're pulling 30,000 on a $300,000 portfolio, then that's a 10% withdrawal rate. You get the idea. So just run that math, figure it out. And again, if you weren't able to figure out how much you spend annually, at least maybe guesstimate. This can help you get an idea. But the expenses can be a little bit different than this because this is what you're pulling from your portfolio. But if you're going to be collecting Social Security or pension or something like that, that money's not coming out of your portfolio value. So we can talk through that if you book a meeting with me as well. Critical question, retirement question number 5. What confidence level would you like to have of not running out of money based on historical statistics? So we got this research based on Charles Schwab research of sustainable initial withdrawal rates. Let's explore some sustainable initial withdrawal rates. They have a paper where we will email you the link to this white paper that is on their website that you can go in a little bit more depth. We also have software that we can run analysis for your specific situation, but we're trying to hit at a high level right here to get you thinking. So what it says is at a 3.8% withdrawal rate in a moderate allocation for 30 years in retirement, there's a 90% confidence level. And if you look down here in the footnotes, what we're going to see is that a 90% confidence level means that after projecting 1,000 scenarios using various returns of stocks and bonds, 900 of those hypothetical portfolios were left without money at the end of the designated time period, anywhere from 1 cent to an amount more than the portfolio started with. So the inverse of that is that there's a 10%, what I would call like a failure rate, that you actually drive it down to 0. What if you took a little bit more? You took 4.4% instead of 3.8%, still in a moderate allocation, still for a 30-year time frame. Well, they say that has a 75% confidence level. So how 75% confidence level in 75% of the scenarios, so 750 out of 1,000 scenarios ran, you'd still have money left at the end of your life. Whereas 25% of those, you would have actually driven the value down to 0 and run out of money before you died, which most people want to try to avoid. Well, what if you live less, only 25 years in retirement instead of 30? Well, a 4.4% withdrawal rate for 25 years has a 90% confidence level. And a 5.1% withdrawal rate in a moderate for 25 years gives you a 75% confidence level. So you can see the various confidence levels, some various time frames, some different initial sustainable initial withdrawal rates based on their research. And you can go and look at this research on Charles Schwab's site, or you can contact me and we can run a specific scenario based on your assets, your portfolio value, your withdrawal rate, your allocation, your real estate, if you're ever going to downsize, move out, rent, downsize your house, any of that type of stuff. So this is, again, just getting you started to thinking to go and talking with your financial professional or having a conversation with us, which I hope that you choose to do. We still have a few more critical retirement questions to go through. But if you book now, go ahead and go to Calendly, Calendly.com/portfolio protection, Calendly.com/portfolio protection. Go ahead and book, because if you're one of the first 5 people to book an appointment with me this week, we have a special bonus with you that we will tell you about towards the end of this webinar presentation. And trust me, 30 minutes could change your life. First come, first serve. Critical retirement question number 6. How much monthly lifetime income do you have from Social Security and pensions? Write that number down here. Maybe you're like, Social Security, I have 30 grand or 60 grand or whatever the number is. And pensions, I have 0 or 5 grand or 120 grand a year, whatever that number is. Write the total of that number right there. Then in this line, write how much monthly lifetime income you have from annuities or other sources, some type of investment or product that guarantees you some type of lifetime income. Now, how much lifetime mailbox money do you have coming in annually? Now, my definition of lifetime mailbox money, it's consistent monthly income for life, regardless of stock and bond market performance, deposited in your bank account. In the good old days, as checks arriving in your mailbox, hence the slang mailbox money, right? So if you have, making this number up, 30,000 from Social Security, 40,000 from pensions, maybe this is a $70,000 number. Maybe you have none coming in from some other guaranteed income sources, like an annuity or something else. Maybe you have 10,000 or 80,000, whatever that number is. And then write your total here. I don't know about you, but I like lifetime mailbox money. Critical retirement question number 8. How much more lifetime mailbox money would you like to have annually? Be honest and realistic, right? I know everybody would like to say, I'd like to have $10 million coming in every year. Maybe that's okay based on your portfolio size. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, just a wish that may not come true. But be honest and realistic relative to your portfolio value, your withdrawal rate and all that stuff. How much more lifetime mailbox money would you like to have coming in annually? Is it 0? Is it 10,000? Is it 60,000? Write your answer on line 8 of the answer sheet. Critical retirement question number 9. What is your acceptable drawdown rate? Write your answer on line 9 of the answer sheet, and let's figure out what that is. So let's say you started with a $1 million portfolio. Whoops. And it grew by 70,000, and you took out 40,000. So your ending value that year is $1,030,000. So you had no drawdown that year. Now, note that the hypothetical scenario above does not take into account taxes, fees, expenses, timing of withdrawals or gains or losses or anything. This is a very simplified example. Now let's say you started with $1 million, you didn't gain anything, you lost 70,000, you took out 40,000 and your ending value is 890,000. Again, a very overly simplified example. So your drawdown would be 110,000. If you divide that number by the starting number, that's 11%. So you had an 11% drawdown rate. Now, if you can run scenarios, we can run scenarios to show you historically what it would look like based on asset allocation, et cetera, and hypothetical examples. And a drawdown is typically the highest point that it ever achieved to the lowest point it ever achieved, with expenses and taxes and fees and losses and withdrawals and all that stuff, the highest to the lowest. But again, this is very simplified. I just want you to get the framework working in your mind. Now, create your own example. Say, okay, here's the starting value for you. For you, it might be 10 million or 5 million or $1 million or 300,000, whatever that is. And then write down a loss that's acceptable to you, a withdrawal rate based on some of the numbers we talked about above. Is this 3% or 4% or 5% or 6%? Write that down. And then what would your ending value be? Then take that ending value, divide it by the starting value. That's going to give you your drawdown rate. So you're trying to arrive at the maximum decrease that you might be able to emotionally tolerate in your portfolio. Think about how well you would sleep if your portfolio went down that much. So some of you may say, I'm okay if my portfolio goes down 40%. Others may say 25% or 15%. Others may say 0. I don't want to see it go down any, right? Well, if you're going to live on money and you have no gains for that year, you're going to have some drawdown risk. But you need to be thinking through these things. Again, just an exercise to get you intellectually moving along, to have the right questions, to have the right conversations with your financial advisor. And we hope that you will decide to talk to us. Critical retirement question number 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 representing 100% confidence, how confident are you that you have a rock solid retirement plan in place? Write that down. Are you a 10? You have a 100% confidence level? Are you 1? You have a almost no confidence level? Are you a 5, somewhere in the middle? Are you a 7, 8, 9? Write that number down. Now, if your answer to question number 10 above was anything less than 10, which would represent 100% confidence level in yourself. So if it's anything less than 100%, then would you be opposed to having a conversation with us to get a second opinion on your life savings and retirement plan? Write your answer on the answer sheet. Next step, book a private, no obligation consultation with me by phone, Zoom, or in person. And what to expect during that meeting? You talk, I listen. Then I'll ask questions. If I think we're a good fit, then I'll explain what I have to offer and how the process works. And then at the end, you can make a decision if you want my help or not. Does that sound fair? Many people spend 4 years in college and tons of money preparing for a 30 to 40-year career. Can you spare 30 minutes with me to prepare for a 20 or 30 or 40 years of retirement? What if 30 minutes could change the course of your retirement? What if 30 minutes could possibly lead to increased joy and decreased stress? And what if you passed on that opportunity? Here's a bonus offer. Be one of the first 5 people this week to book and attend a Zoom meeting with us. And after our meeting, we will create a Social Security optimization report for you at no charge. This is not some generic Social Security white paper that leaves you with more questions than answers. It's a customized report tailored to your specific situation to show you how to optimize your Social Security income. What's the value? This optimization software actually added $140,000 in potential additional lifetime income per household on average in 2020. So go ahead and book now. Calendly.com/portfolio protection. Calendly, CALENDLY.com/portfolio protection. 30 minutes could change your life. Some additional disclosures. This content is for general informational purposes only. It is not intended to provide fiduciary tax or legal advice. You're encouraged to consult with your own legal, tax, and financial professionals for specific advice or product recommendations. Investment insurance products are not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not a deposit or other obligation of, or guaranteed by a bank or any of its affiliates, subject to investment risk, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. All annuity contracts and rider guarantees or annuity payout rates are backed by the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. They are not backed by the insurance agency or insurance producer from which an annuity may be purchased or any affiliates of those entities, and none makes any representations or guarantees regarding the claims paying ability of any insurance company. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. While tax and legal issues may be discussed in the general course of this educational information, the Portfolio Protection Store does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions relative to those issues. The Portfolio Protection Store is a separate entity from ATX Financial Planning, LLC. These entities represent conflicts of interest because it gives an incentive to recommend products or services based on the commission or fee amount received. This conflict is mitigated by disclosures and procedures. Mike Massey also owns a law firm, Mike Massey Law PLLC, but such law firm did not create any of the content of this presentation, nor does it warrant any of the information in this presentation, nor does it provide legal advice to anyone absent a written agreement signed by all parties. You are free to use any financial advisor, insurance person, attorney, etc. of your choice, and you are under no obligation to use Mike Massey or any of his affiliated or controlled entities for any of your needs. You are free to seek the advice, guidance, and/or counsel of any professional of your choice, even if you choose to enter into an agreement to have Mike Massey or any of his affiliated or controlled entities help you with any of your needs. You are under no obligation to use Mike Massey or any of his affiliated or controlled entities for any of your other financial, tax, or legal needs. We encourage people to speak with multiple professionals and choose the one that's best fit, that's the best fit for their given situation. Go ahead and book a meeting at calendly.com/portfolio protection. A little background on me: got a law degree, master's in business, master's in professional accounting, married over 18 years. I've got 5 kids, including 1 from Ethiopia, plus I have 2 more who are in heaven, 4 dogs, a Russian tortoise, 2 bearded dragons, and no partridge in a pear tree. Entrepreneur, owner of 3 very successful businesses, been in the investment business for over 20 years. I'm a Christian. I'm an ordained pastor and host a daily Bible podcast. Best part of my job, helping people decrease stress and increase joy. And my life's purpose is to fire up others to live on purpose for Jesus through my deeds, words, work, and ministry, and be a level 10 husband and father. Go ahead and book a meeting, calendly.com/portfolio protection. 30 minutes could change your life. I would love to speak with you.